He's here. Now, broadcasting from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Good evening, my friends. This is Mark Levin. Our number, 877-381-3811. 877-381-3811. 533,000 U.S. jobs lost last month. 6.7% unemployment. It's moving up. And it shows no signs of moving down. So how did we get here? High taxes, regulations, massive deficits. And what are we doing about it? High taxes, regulations, and massive deficits. Oh, and we'll throw a little protectionism in there to boot. I want to congratulate you liberals. Your endless assault on the private sector, your endless assault on productivity and success and profit has finally paid off. Your massive list of taxes and regulations and redistribution of wealth programs like the Community Reinvestment Act and all the rest, you have successfully killed the housing market and mortgage industries in this country. And that created a domino effect into the financial markets and the banks, into the auto industry. You've all but destroyed the stability of the oil market. And those prices will shoot up. No question about it one day. And when they shoot up because of your efforts on ethanol, food prices will shoot up. Your goal of expanding government power is in full operational mode. Congratulations. The private sector is under assault, and the federal government is thriving. It's thriving like never before. It's got more power than ever before. It's spending like never before. And it is dictating like never before. Funny how that works, isn't it? So I want to congratulate you. And you're not done. You're going to create more economic dislocation and more unemployment. And my guess is you're going to create rampant inflation at one point, too. Now, how do I know this? Because you're about to nationalize the nation's health care system. You won't be deterred. According to Reuters, you're getting ready a big populist campaign with all kinds of tactics to persuade the American people to surrender even more of their income and more of their liberty to you. You know exactly what you want to do. You don't need a populist campaign. You want to set up another Politburo. The auto industry, Chuck Schumer's out there. He sends a letter around to his colleagues. We need a car czar. A car czar to go with the health care czar, to go with the energy czar. We're a nation of czars. Wouldn't the founding fathers be proud? Oh, we're going to have a massive stimulus package. $500, $600, $800 billion, maybe $1 trillion. And as I've said before, these stimulus packages are nothing. That's the government moving the shells around on the table. Everybody looking for the little p. You see, the government doesn't create wealth. The government takes money either out of the private sector, it prints money, thereby undermining the monetary system with potential inflation, or it borrows money from itself, which is a joke, or again from the private sector. It doesn't create wealth. It destroys it and redistributes it to the extent there's any left. And on top of that, they're going to continue to push their radical agenda. They call it a green agenda. We used to call it a red agenda, if you get my drift, where they're going to dictate how industry and even small businesses are going to operate. Not in the most efficient manner, not in the most profitable manner, not in the manner in which they can hire the most jobs and expand. No, on top of everything else, including the collapsing economy, on top of everything else, they're going to promote their agenda. They're going to insist that if you open doors to a new business, that you do it their way, or you do it no way. They're going to insist on regulating carbon dioxide, which is nothing more than a tax on everything from a kilowatt of power to a damn cow. This is their moment, and they are acting. They've been wanting a depression, and they are going to push this society into a depression because this is when they are at their peak. The more miserable people are, or the more miserable they think they are, the more powerful the leftist becomes. Why? Because he is but one thing: a tyrant. He is but one thing: a person who demands power. And they're not going to let the Constitution get in the way. They're not going to let individual liberty get in the way. They're not going to let free markets get in the way. They're not going to let evidence that they're destroying this economy get into the way. No. How do I know? Watch Barney Frank. Watch Chris Dodd. Watch Nancy Pelosi. Watch Harry Reid. They never reverse course. They never step back, not even a baby step. They're never circumspect about anything they've done or anything they're doing. They take responsibility for nothing, and they take power wherever they can find it. That's what's going on in our society today. We have a government run amok, we have politicians run amok, and we have bureaucrats run amok. And where the hell are the media? The media are the lapdogs of big government leftists. The lapdogs. Some of them are just stupid people who come out of journalism school. They don't understand economics or history or the Constitution, and they don't much give a damn. They're liberals. Others are pure ideologues. They go into journalism where they can pretend to be objective news reporters, but instead they promote their agenda. And they award themselves prizes for their brilliance. They award themselves prizes as if they deserve it. They've become cheerleaders for big government and cheerleaders against individual liberty in the private sector. The private sector and all the people employed in the private sector are suffering under the heavy hand of the federal government, and the federal government is expanding. It's becoming more and more powerful. You don't hear about a 5% cut of federal jobs, do you? And you never will. You never will. Now, we have to expand government jobs, more and more government jobs, to oversee more and more of society, because they do such a damn good job. And we're going to create the biggest, most massive, most expensive bureaucracy in the next few months to control health care in this country. They reward themselves with power. After going through one sector after another of the economy and crippling it. So I want to congratulate you liberals out there. We have 6.7% unemployment, 533,000 people or jobs were lost last month. You're creating an environment for truly high inflation one day. We're going to have massive deficits, trillions and trillions of dollars. I just want to congratulate you because your little utopia that you're creating is coming to pass. This little utopia you're creating is hell on earth. It's hell on earth. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin.